friends, is it too soon? Well, not for me, because I have just completed a design team project for Studio 28E, and I did a Halloween journal. So we are going to do the flip through today. Here's our little journal, and of course I will give you a close-up because I want to show you this tassel that I'm in love with and the closure that I chose to use. And also something that was really difficult for me was I did so much sewing in this journal, which adds to it, but I left the little strings hanging instead of cutting them, which was really hard for me to do because I don't think I'm OCD, but maybe a little bit here and there. I mean, it's probably one of those things you are or you're not, but anyway, it was hard for me to be disciplined enough to leave those strings hanging. So I look forward to showing you everything inside of this journal. Here is our Halloween journal, and there's a couple of things I'd like to show you on here. First, I've used some lace and this little belt buckle for the enclosure. I did the lace really long. It certainly could be cut so that it was shorter. I will be selling this journal on my Etsy shop. So there's that little enclosure. And it's not sewn on, so it literally can come all the way off. So we're just gonna lay that there. Then the other thing I wanted to show you, which I have held on by like a miniature bowl clip, is this fantastic tassel. Here is our tassel. I've put it on a keychain so it can be clipped to the journal or to a purse or existing keychain that you have, whatever. It can be clipped to anything pretty much. And so we have an owl charm here, and then we have black lace and some nice orange satin ribbon. On our cover, I've used material and lace, and then this is actually a picture from the kit. And something I wanted to tell you as we begin is that I printed the kit out on gray papers, light gray, medium gray, and dark gray. And I will have the link to the kit in my description box. And I just want you to know that my images in here will be a little bit darker than the original kit. I did that because I kind of wanted it to have a spooky feeling, so that's why I chose to do that. This is just a decoupaged napkin on the inside front here. And you'll see that I sewed lace in. And here's what I'm talking about with the strings that I didn't clip. If you wanted to purchase this journal and you didn't want these, I could clip them for you prior to sending it off. So you'll see a lot of stitching throughout. Basically almost every pocket that I added to this, it has been sewn in. And there's spaces for journaling, not only in tucks, but also many of the kit pages already have lines on them. You'll see more stitching here, and I cut many of the kit pages and I layered them so that they could be journaled on. And throughout you'll notice that I have some vintage papers that were coffee dyed. And actually this particular paper is not vintage, just so you know. I think this is the only one in here that wouldn't be vintage. I will not talk through the whole video. I will just have the music going and I will speed it up a little bit for you, and I hope you enjoy. This has been coffee dyed, and of course I stitched this piece of ephemera on it from the kit. This is the end of the first signature, and this begins the second signature. Again, just a reminder, for example, this page would have come out a much lighter green, but I printed it out on a gray paper, so it came out much darker. I got this card in Happy Mail from Pam Van E. Decided to put that in there since it was a fall theme. And actually, I got this image out of a medical textbook that I have, and I just thought it was perfect. I guess these strings can be thought of like spider webs. Again, if you were interested in the book but you didn't want the strings, I could trim them. But if you like them just because, you know, it adds that little extra layer of texture, then obviously I'm happy to leave them. Lots of journaling space also on this paper too. Lots of little tucks. And obviously these can be journaled on, but even underneath. All of this has been stamped, well, I should say inked. Here's another image I got from a medical text that I had. This is just a napkin that I had, and I glued two of them together. Just kind of a fun little thing. It's it's not really for journaling, but it's just for whimsy. A little pocket here that I sewed in. All of this has been inked. Just about every page has been inked, actually. These are vintage papers that were coffee dyed and inked on top and sewn in. This page is not from the kit on this side. It's a scrapbook paper, and I used my paper punch to create those edges, but I printed this kit page out on the scrapbook paper, so it's double-sided, so that's kind of nice. This was also from my medical kit, my medical book, so I thought that was just kind of fun. And little tucky things can be put up here and obviously in this pocket. This is just a little piece of, ephemera that I made. A light piece of paper could be put in here and it could be drawn on, or actually even better, I think it would be fun to use a white gel pen on it. I think that would be great. So there's a tuck spot here, but there's also one down here that could be used. Over here I have another card that Pam Van E sent me in Happy Mail. That was so nice. I thought the color was perfect next to the flower. And just some scrapbook paper that could be used as a journaling space. These, if you look at the kit online, you will notice that these images are a much brighter green, so you could always print it out on white paper and it would come out much lighter than on the gray paper. Here I had another x-ray image from my medical book and decided to put it on this embossed paper that I inked all the way around. And another image from my medical book. I wonder if you can see that. It's bones. I just thought that was kind of funny and whimsical. Another page that I used my paper punch on all the way around the edges. I used this image of the house several times throughout this book. I used it on the cover. You'll see here that it's different because I printed it in black and white, and here it is printed in color. Of course, it's larger on this one too. So it's the same image, but this shows you how you can print it out differently if you'd like to. This is the same image of that house. Here I printed it in black and white as well on a very dark gray paper, almost a charcoal color. This is a page from the kit, and this is a vintage paper that I inked around the edges. And then this could be journaled on as well. Somebody could use this as, you know, like a October daily. A lot of people do a December daily, and I guess they write in their journal each day. But you could do that through the month of October too if you wanted to. This is another vintage bank statement. I put it in here because it does have lines for journaling, plus the print is so light you could literally write right over top of it. This is one of my favorite pages, and I have to tell you why. I did what I would call messy sewing on it, which again was really hard for me to do because I like to sew straight lines, and so it was a challenge to kind of, and even though I know to a lot of you this looks pretty straight, but I was really trying to be messy, and this is this is the best I could do at being messy, but you know, I think it's cute and messy enough. So each one of these pages was inked around the edges, and I think it actually came out pretty cool. It looks like there's just, because I tore them first and then I inked them, so I think they look pretty neat. Again, this image would be lighter, all of them really would, but this was the darkest gray paper that I used, and so obviously the images came out darker, which is what I wanted. So here's this house again. You can see different sizes, and you know, just fun. And this you can flip up, and you could, you know, put something here if you wanted to. You can see the stitching all the way around because I stitched in this lace here. There's black lace on almost every page. I like this page too because it's purple. If you're enjoying this flip through so far, please smash that like button. Oops, this must have gotten sewn in. We'll just leave it like that. I want to let you all know how much I appreciate you being here. Whether you're new or you've been here before, I want to thank you. Again, I decoupaged another napkin on the cover, and I used the house image on the back cover as well. The lace that I used for the closure is actually stretchy, so you would not have to undo the belt buckle every time you wanted to get into your journal. It would slide off very easily. I will have the link for the digital kit in my description box, as well as the link for my Etsy shop if you are interested in purchasing this fun Halloween junk journal. I hope you enjoyed the flip through of this very fun and spooky Halloween book. It will be available in my Etsy shop if you are interested in purchasing it. Thanks for watching. See you soon.